So our first area is all about goals or vision, really, for the future. Now, this is an important element, and I always think it was the first one, really, because we can't hit a target that we can't see, or we at least need to have it defined about where we want it to get to, simply because how will we know that we've arrived? How will we know that we've actually achieved or got to where we want to be? So that's really important, and having that very, very clear in our minds, I think is really, really important. But there's a couple of other elements that I think are less obvious that are worth pointing out here. When we've got all of our material needs met, our goals and our vision for the future really need to take on a different shape, especially if we want to significantly change our experience of being alive. Now, I believe that they should be purpose-led, not ego-driven. Now, that doesn't mean that we won't have all the conventional stuff of success of, houses, cars, money, clothes, whatever that might mean for you. But these things are secondary. They're not the primary objective of where we're moving towards. They're sort of like that they come as a byproduct, if you like. And that's important because then they don't form part of any fragile identity that we actually create or we're moving into. That's really important if we're going to feel really good about ourselves and, have less ups and downs and things. So to fuel this, though, and make you really feel alive, it needs to be passion orientated. And just to give you a little quote from Steve Jobs. So Steve Jobs says, if you're working on something that's exciting and you really care about, you don't have to be pushed. The vision pulls you. Now, I think that's really powerful, and that's really where we're sort of aiming for if we're wanting to feel good about ourselves. So essentially, when we're doing work which we think is worth doing, it doesn't really feel like work. And we don't need to be forced into it. We don't need separation. What we really want and need is sort of integration. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean that when we're working on the vision which is right for us, that we have a wonderfully balanced life. In fact, lots of people which have really passion-driven lives, actually, they're not balanced at all. And that's okay. As long as what we have is self-awareness built into that. And the reason is so that we don't then regret our decisions as a result of our intense focus. And if I just finish this little section with a quote from Walter Chrysler. He says, I feel sorry for the person who can't get genuinely excited about his work. Not only will he never be satisfied, but he will never achieve anything worthwhile.